and our speaker this evening, Emily Treasarden.
When I was 3, I was obsessed with the idea of going to school. My mom enrolled me in a full-day preschool because of how much I begged to go. When it was nearly time for kindergarten, I counted down the days until the first day. I was a loud, bubbly, and happy kid. I had many passions and did not care how unrealistic the goals seemed. I believed wholeheartedly I would accomplish them one day. One of my dream jobs was to be a rock star by night and a bin man by day. I loved all things pink and purple and wanted to be all the boys at soccer during recess. I always had scraped knees from playing and climbed just about every tree in the park. However, one interest that stayed constant was art. My love for art was different. I had this strange clarity that it would be something important in my life. It calmed me when I was stressed, and it showed my love for people by making them art. It was my way of expressing myself when I didn't have the words to explain it, and I'm still just as in love with art today. In school, it didn't take me long to notice that for some reason I couldn't keep up. Red flags began to appear, and my parents started to suspect something was up. I found out I was dyslexic in the 2nd grade. That same year, I started at a new school that we were told would support my needs. I did not handle the news of my diagnosis well. I was embarrassed of being dyslexic, and whenever I heard that word, my whole body would tense up. In 3rd grade, I had a teacher whose actions completely shattered my sense of self-worth and confidence. She would announce everyone's test scores to the entire class. I remember the disdain in her voice that she used only while reading my score, and the eyes of others she forced onto me made me want to hide under my desk. She would sit me next to her before fully kicking me out of the class. One time she made me explain dyslexia to the whole class, and then after I explained it, she stated that dyslexia is a disease. This treatment took me years to get over and only added more shame of me being dyslexic. By middle school, I was mentally drained. I adapted exceptionally well socially, but academically, I felt entirely alone. I was on autopilot just to survive. Asking for accommodations was a no-go. It felt like I was offending teachers or just purely an inconvenience. And to get a 504 meeting each year was like going into battle for my mum. I tried to go unnoticed. I wasn't a class clown and I didn't act up, but I was once told my needs were destructive in itself. On top of that, being in an environment that restricted me from doing art felt very isolating. From the ages of 8 to 14, I had grown adults yelling at me, telling me I was lazy and an inconvenience. They told me I was never going to graduate high school. For 9 years of my young life, I saw school as something I was not worthy of succeeding in. No matter how hard I tried and how badly I wanted it, I thought all these people had to be right. I knew I had to leave that school district. When I was a sophomore, I decided to go to Edison and that it would be a better fit. Coming into Edison, I was extremely nervous. However, this time I adapted well academically. This didn't mean school was now easy. I still had late nights studying and used many 8th periods with teachers who were there to answer any question I had. It showed that with a supportive environment, I could finally learn. That year I got straight A's. The support and accommodations I was given allowed me to truly unlock my true academic potential. Edison helped me see quickly that I was never lazy or unteachable. It was apparent that the teachers and staff were here for us. I never felt uncomfortable asking for help, never felt embarrassed for not knowing something that seemed easy. The atmosphere and acceptance of Edison made me proud to be dyslexic and to have ADHD. Socially, it took me some time to adjust. My anxiety caused me to not be able to talk to the other students or teachers. Although it took a while, everyone allowed me to take my time. Some of my classmates didn't even know I had an English accent until January from my shyness. Junior year had many highs and lows. Even though I felt supported and loved, when I went through my lows, I didn't have to go through it alone. Edison would not be the school it is without the counselors. While I admire them all, I want to mention Miss Lucas. I will never be able to thank you enough for what you have done for me. I was painfully shy sophomore year, and I don't think either one of us saw me standing here giving a speech in front of this many people. You helped me give me a voice outside of art, and thank you, Miss Lucas. Junior year, I learned a big thing about myself, that my forever love of helping people and my interest in mental health is something I could pursue. But before Edison, I thought that art would be the only path. Edison teachers knew my passion for art could help me connect with my other schoolwork. Miss Connolly would constantly relate time periods to paintings. Miss Crowland would relate the degree of an angle of shapes by having me make drawings. And Miss FR would pull my knowledge of art and art history into our lessons. When teachers incorporated my love of art into the classroom, the line of art and my academics started to become one. Because teachers made this connection, it allowed me to go out of my comfort zone and explore new interests. I got the opportunity to learn more about mental health and psychology through Miss FR's class when we had a research paper and presentation. I researched the impacts of mental health on the family unit. Through that project, I found my love for psychology, and it is something I want to pursue. My art also improved tremendously since coming to Edison. The stress I felt at my old school would simply stop me from creating. As a senior, I am making art that I never thought possible. I have gone places with my pieces I never saw possible, and most importantly, I am proud of my work. Now I am nearing the end of my senior year. I always saw myself graduating because I am not a quitter, but before coming to Edison, I saw getting to graduation simply because I survived. Surviving your education is not enough. Every student, no matter what circumstances, deserves a good education. I saw graduation as a day that would take a lot of painstaking years to get to, with many wishes not met and full of regrets. A day that wasn't truly meant for me like it was my peers, because I was made to believe I would never work hard enough for it. It feels bittersweet. I'm so excited to go to college, but leaving Edison is going to be hard. Currently, I am having to pick what college I will be going to. As it is a very surreal feeling, I've done a lot of reflecting and thinking about my younger self and how far I have come. If I could speak to her today, I would tell her to stick with it, because one day it will all be worth it. And soon school will be something you don't dread and have to hide your dyslexia and ADHD, that you will get into college, and that it wasn't luck, but a lot of hard work. I would want her to know that her love for art has only grown and expanded. I would want her to know that her art will win her competitions, and in her senior year give her hope of winning national awards. That what her teachers have said about never getting into college is so far from the truth, because not only will one day she be accepted into some of the best art schools in the country with top scholarships that were earned through her merit as a student and a portfolio that showed both her creativity and technique. I would tell her to keep going, because one day all the rejections she faced would change into success. Success with getting into all colleges she applied to, including scholarships from all 8, with a $140,000 scholarship from one. I am going to miss all the teachers, staff, and friends from Edison, but I know that this is what I deserve. That I have worked hard for this very moment, and I have no regrets. Thank you, Edison, from the bottom of my heart. My family and I cannot begin to thank you enough.